I'm going to talk about a very important theorem, theorem 4.1, which is discussing about how we can convert the NFA null to an equivalent NFA. Okay, previously in theorem 4.1 we have discussed the conversion from NFA to DFA. We know that NFA and NFA null are the methods of finite automata with the non-determinism. So over here the NFA null is introducing the non-determinism through the presence of null in the finite automata. So the theorem is talking about how we can convert the NFA null to an equivalent NFA. So we can say that every language which is accepted by NFA null can definitely accepted by NFA, and we have seen that for every NFA there is an equivalent FA. So even we can say that every language which is accepted by NFA will be definitely accepted by FA. So at the end of this theorem we can say that if any language is accepted by NFA null, or for any language if we can draw the NFA null, then definitely their language would be accepted by equivalent NFA, and further it would be accepted by equivalent FA. Same way that language we can draw the NFA for the same language as well as the FA is also possible for the language. Okay, so let's see the statement of the theorem. The theorem states that if any language L is a subset of a sigma star which is accepted by NFA null N is equals to Q sigma Q0 A delta, these are the tuples of NFA null, then there is an NFA M1 is equals to Q sigma Q1 A1 delta 1 that also accept L. Okay, so the statement is again telling the same thing. If there is an NFA null which accepts some language L, then there should be a NFA M1 that also accept the same language. Now, before we start proving the theorem or a statement, let me introduce a few considerations that we need to take care. So let's discuss about the consideration for a machine M1. Actually, we have NFA null with us. We are introducing to draw the NFA, which is equivalent to NFA null. Okay, so we are talking about what are the tuples or how we can define NFA M1. Okay, so the consideration of NFA M1 is equals to Q sigma Q0 A1 and delta 1. Now let's see here. There is a state P to Q. Okay, this is the diagram of NFA null. So over here, if I am talking that in state P, if I receive 0, the non-determinism is here. In which state the control will move? Either it will stay in Q or the control can move to R. So this is a non-determinism. Now, if I want to convert this NFA null to NFA, the simple way is either what can I do is directly give the transition from P to R through 0. Okay, so the same what exactly I did over here is when I want to remove null, directly introduce a transition for the same symbol from P to R. Okay, so this is a simple way how we can convert NFA null to NFA. So in both the case we can see that the number of states are remain same. Okay, so over here we have rewritten M1 is equals to Q instead of Q1. Okay, now sigma is again same. Q0 initial state is same. So over here we have not written Q1, but instead of Q1 we have written Q0, A1 and delta 1. These two tuples are changed, or these two tuples are different than the NFA null. Okay, so now let's discuss about these two tuples. Now, the first of all, we are interested in talking about the transition function. Okay, so delta 1 QA. Again, as I mentioned in previously, what we did was we have introduced a transition for 0 from Q for Q and R both. Okay, so it means that delta 1 QA is nothing but the same transition, or that should have the same answer that we get from the extended transition function of NFA null. Okay, so if you remember, let me note the diagram again. 0, null, R and Q. So delta star P0 will give me QR. Same way over here, the delta P0 will give me R. So this is what we are interested in. We are interested that after removing null transition, also we should get the same answer. Okay, so by considering that, we can write that delta 1 QA is equals to delta star QA. So these two things should be same. Okay, second thing that we are interested is about A1. So what we can say about the accepting state? So the accepting state will be same as accepting state of NF null, that is A. But in one case the accepting state will be changed, and that is, for example, from initial state P, I have a transition of null to the final state Q. It means that when I am removing this null transition, even the string called null should be accepted, and that can only be done if I make the initial state as a final state. Clear? Again I am repeating, when there is a null transition from initial state to final state through null, in that case when we are converting NFA null to NFA, we have to make initial state as a final state, because this null would be removed. So even the null string should be accepted, and hence we have to make the initial state as a final state along with the original final state. So that can be written as A1 is equals to A union Q0, in which case we have to include Q0 if null closure of Q0. See here, the null closure of P is equals to P, R and Q. So if the null closure of P, Q0 intersection A is not equal to 5. Okay, so here the null closure of P is P, R and Q. Intersection A, in the previous case the intersection was Q, so is not equal to 5, so we have to introduce Q0 in a accepting state. Okay, so this is about delta 1 and A1. Now let's start the proof. So this is my basic consideration. Now let's start the theorem. So to prove this theorem, even we are using the method of structural induction that we have already discussed in the previous theorems. So when we use a structural induction, the basic steps are basis, induction hypothesis and induction step. Okay, so in basis, generally when we use a principle of mathematical induction, in basis we took the base value or initial value. So over here, the base value, we know that the language, the regular language has a three basic components: phi, that is empty language; null, that is null language, null string; and lastly A belongs to sigma. Now we know that in NFA, if I talk about null, then delta star Q null for NFA is only Q. But in NFA null, delta star Q null is equals to null closure of Q. Both the things are very different. Okay, so for that I cannot take x equals to our initial value as null. So we cannot take these two. Okay, and for that we have taken, so we cannot take empty language, we cannot take even null in case of NFA null and NFA. So we are taking some string called A in a basis. Clear? So in the basis we have to take the base value, that is the delta star Qx is equals to delta 1 Qa. Okay, we have taken x is equals to A is equals to delta 1 star Qa. Okay, because of NFA. So this is a basis. Is it clear? Now we are interested in the induction hypothesis. Now the induction hypothesis should be a middle value. Okay, so over here we are considering some string y whose length is greater than or equal to 1. So delta 1 star Qy is equals to delta star Qy. This is what we assume to be true. Clear? Now in induction step, actually we are interested in proving that if some string x is accepted by NFA null, then there would be a NFA that also accept the same string. So it means that we are proving that delta 1 star Qya is equals to delta star Qya. It means that if by reading YA in the state where the NFA is reached in the same state in which even the NFA null will be reached. Okay, so this is what we want to prove in the induction step. So now let's see the induction step. Delta 1 star QYA is equals to, now according to the definition of NFA, is equals to union R belongs to delta 1 star QY delta RA. This is the definition of NFA. Okay, now we know that delta 1 star QY is equals to delta star QY. This is from the induction hypothesis. Okay, so by putting or by taking the induction hypothesis, we are replacing delta 1 star QY to delta star QY. Okay, now what we get is union R belongs to delta star QY delta 1 RA. Now again delta 1 RA, if you remember, we have considered delta 1 QA is equals to delta star QA. Okay, so we can rewrite delta 1 RA is equals to delta star RA by the definition of delta 1 from the consideration of NFA. Okay, so by looking, by writing it like this, what we get is delta star RA. Now delta star RA is the extended transition function of NFA null. Okay, so we can write it in this way. Union R belongs to delta star QY in the bracket union in the bracket null closure of. Now again I am rewriting this from the definition of NFA null. So this is equals to null closure of union R belongs to null closure of R, or you can write it here R belongs to delta star Q null. Okay, R null. Let's take P here and this is R. Okay, so union R belongs to null closure of R delta PA. This whole term is derived from delta star RA. Okay, so we get this term. Now there is a property of a null closure is a union of a null closure is equals to null closure of union. So what we can do is we can take out the null closure and we can rewrite it in this way. So null closure of union R belongs to delta star QY in the bracket. I am not, this is not done anything new. We have only taken null as a common. So what we get is union R belongs to delta star QY in the bracket union P belongs to null closure of R delta PA. So again, if we see these two things properly, what we get is delta star QY is talking about the extended transition function of NFA null. So it means that it is covering all the nulls that is before and after this one. And if I am talking of null closure of R, this null closure of R is also talking about all the null before and after R. So the R is to be read after Y. Okay, and it means that all the null that is previous before the the R will be covered in this one. Okay, so we can say that this R or the states that we get by reading R will be a subset of delta star QY. Okay, and because of that we can write it in this way. We can combine these two because this will be the same. Okay, so we can combine it in this way is equals to null closure of union R belongs to delta star QY delta RA, and which is nothing but delta star QYA. So exactly what we get is delta 1 star QYA is equals to delta star QYA. So the statement that we are interested to prove is for by reading any string YA where the NFA null reaches in the same state even the NFA halt. Okay, and hence the given statement, that is any language which is accepted by NFA null is also accepted by NFA is true. Hope there is no doubt in this video. Thank you.